So Danny, 2014, this is the 13th edition.
13th year.
You've been doing this since the very beginning, I think, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Danny, anything new for this edition?
The format and everything remains the same. I mean, we still have the 120 teams coming from around the globe. We have a new entry from Australia that we've never had before.
Is that right, huh?
A new team from the Netherlands, which we've never had before. And you know, we've got returning entries from England and the Cayman Islands and places like that. Puerto Rico, different places. They've been here in the past.
That is awesome.
And you know, again, all the Canadian provinces represented except for Saskatchewan.
Okay.
We do have a team from the Yukon.
Yep.
A bunch of U.S. states. Again, I think there's 23 in total, and one of those is new, being North Carolina, which is
phenomenal.
Not a typical hockey hotbed, but I think they're guys from New England that are down there going to school and whatnot, or working in that area. So, you know, outside of that, we do have a couple of special guests over the weekend, Danny Grant and Willie O'Ree.
Wow.
Both New Brunswick born and bred ex-NHL players.
Absolutely.
Willie being the first player of color to play in the NHL, and he was actually scheduled to be here a couple of years ago.
Wow.
He's still, you know, he's in his 80s, but in remarkable shape and condition, and still works for the NHL office. So they kind of stole him away from us that time, but everything's cleared to go, and him and Dan will be arriving here on Friday, the 14th this year, and right through to including the championship game on Sunday.
So give us the dates this year.
February 13th, Thursday we start, Thursday night.
For the grand opening?
Yeah, for the players it starts around noon hour with the registration and that type of thing.
Right.
We've got a little bit of an added value thing with them. We've been working with the province and have what we're calling the Taste of New Brunswick in the registration building. So they come in and pick up their welcome kits, and some different food producers from around the province are going to be there. We'll have people in the seafood industry and people from the potato industry, different segments of the agriculture department, and you know, give them a little sample of some of the food that's produced right here.
Wow.
You know, homegrown type of stuff, and
top class.
Hopefully, you know, that may generate some business for those folks as well.
That is
phenomenal. Then for the spectator, the opening ceremony starts here about 5 o'clock.
Yep.
We gather all the teams in the Tobitplex like we always do, and we're going to do it a little different this year from the standpoint. Last year it was so cold on the Thursday night that we moved everything inside.
Yeah.
And as much as the players and spectators appreciated that due to the weather, they still prefer to have, you know, the march across the lake in behind the flags and stuff. So it also provides a place for whether it be some seniors or things that maybe don't have an easy time to get out the lake, but they can get in the building. So we're going to do a portion of the ceremony in there. We'll you know, it's a staging area for the teams. They get behind the kids with the flags and signs.
Yep.
A couple of the speakers, Lieutenant Governor Graydon Nicholas is going to be here with us, and our MLA and the mayor here from the town, and we'll get rid of a couple of speeches inside. And then when we march them out onto the lake, they'll basically come in across like they always have and gather here in the area with bleachers and stuff here.
Wow.
We'll just have a quick opening ceremonial face-off. Red Roulette will be here along with with the Governor General, or the Lieutenant General, sorry.
Yep.
And we'll move right there at the fireworks. So it's a little bit of timing involved to get it done just before dark, and then the games will follow soon after.
And you still have the fireworks?
Still have the fireworks, yep.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Danny, I look behind us. You have all the setup for the rinks and so on, but we're about let's say 2 weeks away from
10, 11 days,
That's a lot of organization. That's a lot of people getting a lot of volunteers as well.
Yep. You know, it's got, like I say, our organizing committee is you know, we have 9 different subcommittees, and they all have a special area that they look after, and the guys that do the site here look after the ice and the buildings here. I mean, they've been at it now for basically a month.
Wow.
You know, and you know, they all have their jobs they work at in the daytime, but we've had a couple of evening sessions and a couple on the weekend, and you know, some of the things that we've done over time have allowed us to do things a little bit earlier, which helps.
Right.
Because you never know what Mother Nature's going to bring. We might be
exactly. And that's your biggest challenge.
It is. It is. She's been pretty good to us.
Yeah.
But over time, you know, if it happens to snow a lot, the day or two leading up to, all our manpower is tied up in snow removal. So it's good to have these types of things done beforehand.
Right. It's what floors me is around all this event, including the players, the volunteers, everybody working around this thing. Those guys have a full-time job in during the regular season. So they basically take a bit of their time and give it for the
well, it's for the community at the end of the day.
Well, exactly.
You know, and kids more specifically. You know, I mean, we still direct all our profits into the Tobitplex, the new building that's opened up.
I was going to ask,
You know, aside from that, we do a scholarship at the school, but you know, that's basically it. Other than you know, a lot of local clubs and organizations over the course of the year have different events, and we've become like the hardware store in a way that they're looking for prizing for different things, and we have a lot of clothing and things that we donate that way. But as far as the actual revenues, it's still directed completely into Tobic-Plex and will continue to be so.
And the rest is generated for the businesses around here, restaurants, bar, hotels, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and the impact's broader than just Plaster Rock. I mean, the whole region benefits from that standpoint. You know, we've Grand Falls and Perth Andover, we've had teams and media stay as far away as Edmonton and Woodstock certain years. So, you know, there's traffic through the airports in Fredericton and Moncton and Halifax and Bangor, and you know.
So you're talking lots of dollars there, certainly.
Yep. You know, the province claims that we're their single biggest winter sport tourism event.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And I don't think there's any arguing that at least from the standpoint of where the people come from.
Absolutely.
When you get you know, we've had every continent except Antarctica visit this big city of Plaster Rock.
That's right. Yeah.
And at least for a few days, our dot in the map's a little bigger.
But the other medias will be here, the Radio Canada broadcasting and so on and so forth. Hockey Night in Canada, they talk about it all the time. So it's becoming a huge thing.
It is, and I mean, when we started back in 2002, I guess right after that first year, we knew we had something that was going to work. At that time, to think that we'd draw teams from around the globe like we have, I don't think that was something we envisioned. But since that time, you know, 2005, when the NHL lockout happened that year,
I remember.
We had, you know, basically every major media outlet in North America was here, and it kind of blew up geographically with us at that time.
Yep.
But also what happened, there's a lot of other communities across Canada, more, you know, especially, that have started similar events, and some of those are affiliated with us, and you know, there's still a few events in the United States. We had a couple of teams from Switzerland here for 2 or 3 years in a row, and they went back home and started a similar event in Switzerland. So.
Hey.
You know, who's to know? Like, it was shortly after that as well that the NHL started these outdoor games that we see. So did we have some influence or some impact with that? Probably, you know.
I like to say you did.
Probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and everybody's kind of put their own spin on getting back to the grassroots level of the game and playing outside like we did when we were kids.
Well, exactly. Isn't it how we used to do it when we were kids?
It was. The lake wasn't quite this big, but you know, but
we played outside.
But it was the same format. I mean, you had a bunch of guys or girls or both together, and you know, you made up your own rules, and you didn't need a referee. You know, you governed it within yourselves, and it was just a bunch of fun.
Just for the love of the game.
Exactly.
Let's repeat the dates again, because we want to invite everybody to come and participate to this event.
Yep, Thursday, February 13th is the day we kick things off. The opening ceremony is that night at 5, right here at the lake and in the Tobic-Plex. And then games continue on Friday, starting in the afternoon. And then on the evening under the lights again, we do have entertainment inside the pavilion here both those nights. Games here all day Saturday through the day with some entertainment going on, and there's canteen services and all that type of thing here.
Right.
We have a social event Saturday night at the high school, which is it's the only indoor facility that's large enough for those numbers.
Right.
And then Sunday, the top 32 teams plus the top 4 teams in the ladies division vie for the Goodwill Cup.
There you go.
Yep.
Playoffs and finals, and I was here so exciting.
Yeah, it is, and
so
you know
exciting.
the Thursday, Friday, Saturday seem to be the days for the hockey purists.
Right.
And certainly the level of competitiveness ramps up a little bit on Sunday, but you know, it's never been so competitive that there's been any problems. I mean, they play hard, but they all get why we're here.
Absolutely.
And you know, they put a little show on for the fans, because there's some pretty good players, and you know, it's neat to watch the skill and see it outside like
exactly. So guys, come to Plaster Rock that weekend. It's phenomenal. You have to see it. Biggest event of the winter in our region. Phenomenal work. Danny, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And best of luck for this tournament.
We can always use some of that.
There you go. Thank you.
Thanks.